All right, let's talk about something huge. There's a piece of tech coming out of the video game world, and it's got Hollywood seriously spooked. We're talking about a single AI chip that could completely change the game for movies, not just what we watch, but how we experience it.
I mean, listen to this quote. It's time for a total Hollywood full-blown freakout. That's a direct quote from our source on this. And look, they're not talking about some minor update here. This is being framed as a massive, fundamental disruption. So, what exactly is causing this much panic?
So, our source calls this new Nvidia AI chip Hollywood's secret meteor. Think about that, an extinction-level event. The whole idea is that while the movie industry has been, looking one way, worried about stuff like Sora and generative video AI, this thing has been silently hurtling towards them from a totally different direction, the world of gaming, a world they might have been ignoring.
Okay, so let's get into the weeds a little bit. What is this chip? What does it actually do? Well, at its core, it's all about one thing: taking images made by a computer and making them look so real you can't tell the difference. And the craziest part? It does it instantly, in real time. The tech itself is called Nvidia DLSS 5. Now, the key word you gotta remember is reinterprets. See, normal computer graphics, they work by crunching tons of numbers, calculating physics, light, all that stuff. This AI, it does something totally different. It just looks at an image, compares it to everything it's learned, and then completely rebuilds it on the fly to look perfectly real. It's like a master artist painting over a sketch in a split second.
And listen, this isn't just some slick marketing pitch from Nvidia. The source makes a point to mention the folks over at Digital Foundry. These are tech experts who've seen it all, right? They're famously tough to impress. And when they saw this thing in action, their reaction was apparently just a jaw drop. That tells you they witnessed something genuinely groundbreaking.
This is where you can really see the difference. On the one side, you've got what looks like a really, really good video game. You can tell it's a game, right? But then, on the other side, that same scene is just transformed. The way the light hits things, the textures, everything. It stops looking like a game and it just looks real. And this is what makes it so disruptive. Remember, it's not using old-school physics calculations, it's all AI pattern recognition. But here's the kicker, the part that changes everything. Game developers have to do nothing, zero extra work. The chip handles the whole shebang. It can even go back and give older games an instant photorealistic facelift. That's just wild. Okay, look at this. This is the perfect example. Hair. Anybody who plays video games knows that hair is always the thing that gives it away. It looks plasticky, you can see the hard edges. So the before here, that's what we call good video game hair. But then look at the after. The AI just fixes it. It turns it into what our source calls movie-ready hair, with natural curves, individual strands. It's incredible.
So right about now, you're probably thinking, okay, cool tech for games, but an existential threat to Hollywood? Really? How does a chip that makes games look prettier suddenly become a potential movie killer? Well, let's connect the dots.
First off, let's just talk about the sheer scale here. Our source points out something a lot of people don't realize. The gaming market is already 14 times bigger than the box office. 14! This isn't some little niche hobby anymore. It's the undisputed king of entertainment, and it's about to get an insane visual upgrade.
And our source brings up a fantastic point using the movie Avatar. Remember that? Why did everyone rush to see it in 3D? A big part of it was just being in Pandora. People were mesmerized by this beautiful, immersive alien world. It tapped into that deep-seated desire we all have to just escape into another place.
And that brings us to the central question. If you could make a video game world look just as beautiful and real as the world of Pandora, why would you pay to just sit and watch it? Why do that when you could put on a headset and actually be there, walk around and interact with it yourself? That's the threat. Passive viewing versus active inhabiting. And the source lays out a pretty clear roadmap for how this could happen. Step 1. It's here now. Achieving photorealism on a powerful PC. But step 2, that's when this tech gets adapted for low-power VR headsets. And once that happens, that's it. That's step 3. The door swings wide open for anyone to step into a completely believable, photorealistic virtual world right from their own home. But, it's not all sunshine and roses. The source makes it very clear that not everyone is excited about this. In fact, for some, this technology is raising some pretty serious alarm bells and a healthy dose of skepticism. Yeah, one person quoted in the source just comes right out and says it. I absolutely hate this. It means that we can't trust anything anymore. And that hits on a much deeper fear, doesn't it? This isn't just about entertainment anymore. It's about what happens to our sense of reality when anything we see could be a perfect, undetectable fake.
So, the source really breaks down the fears into three main buckets. First, you've got the very real human cost. What happens to all the visual effects artists, the programmers, whose skills might just get automated away? Then there's that end of trust problem we just talked about. And finally, what if it's all just hype? You know, another tech fad that promises the world and then fizzles out like the VR craze back in the 90s.
And that skepticism has some history to back it up, right? The source points back to the 90s. We were all promised this VR revolution that was going to change everything, and it just didn't happen. It fizzled. So the big question hanging over all of this is this time really different, or are we just setting ourselves up for another big letdown?
When you zoom out, you realize this is about way more than just movies versus video games. The source is really suggesting that we're standing on the edge of a massive shift, one that could fundamentally blur the line between entertainment and, well, existence itself.
And it really boils down to two possible futures, two very different paths. You've got the proponents' view, a total revolution in entertainment, these incredible, immersive, photorealistic worlds that anyone can access. And then you have the skeptics' view, a future that's scary and uncomfortable, marked by mass job losses and an era where we literally can't trust our own eyes.
And maybe the most chilling thought from the entire source is this: gaming isn't the endgame, it's just the test pilot. Once this technology is perfected in games, there's nothing stopping it from being applied to, well, everything. Every video, every image, every single thing we see on a screen. Which leaves us with one last, massive question to chew on. When these virtual worlds become totally indistinguishable from our reality, what does entertainment even mean anymore? Are we looking for an escape, or are we about to start building a whole new reality from scratch?